Welcome to Match of the Day 3. Philip, Neville and Jermaine Jenas with me here, and it seems more of the same from Leicester. It feels like we're, broken record. You don't want to keep drumming on about the same things and why the defence doesn't work, why there's no potency in attack. But what do you put it down to?
Well, I think, first of all, we've got to stop talking about them being champions last season, because that is gone, and they're in serious trouble now. You saw the quotes from Kasper Schmeichel after the game, the quotes during the week about problems in the dressing room.
Well, let's just remind you, though, it's not a situation, Kasper Schmeichel says, that's comfortable at all. We're the reigning champions, so he's going on about it, and quite frankly, it's been terrible, it's embarrassing. Embarrassing, he says. Well,
it is embarrassing, because they're thinking like Premier League champions, but they should take their minds back to 2 years ago when they were fighting for relegation. This time that year, they were bottom of the league. Nigel Pearson fighting for his life. They ended up winning 7 out of the last 9 games, I think it was, something ridiculous. They're going to have to do the same again, because I actually fear for them. I actually think they could go down.
Do you think they've got the fight, or anything like the signs of a fight, that they could win 7 out of their last 9 games?
Look, this team have done it before. They've got themselves out of a tricky situation. Yeah, I know we're trying to say, look, forget about them winning the league, because, that was a fairy tale moment for them. But if anything, they need to kind of draw themselves back to that moment of when they were in that relegation battle, and with only a few games to go, and managed to dig out all kinds of results to guarantee their safety, because the majority of that squad are still there.
Yeah.
It is within them right now. Whatever's happening at the club it's as crazy now as crazy as it was when they won the league. It's ridiculous, and I'm sure that they're looking at each other saying, what can we possibly do? Just going off today's game, I didn't see massive signs of players down in tools. No. I didn't see crazy signs of players not believing in their manager or going against their manager. I still, they could go down. They definitely could go down, but I think they can get themselves out of it.
It's interesting you talk about the manager, because there obviously has been a little bit of talk about some kind of unrest, which Schmeichel addressed. He said, I'm not going to comment on newspaper speculation. I know what's going on in the dressing room, which always, when somebody says, I'm not going to comment about that, leads you to think there might be something,
perhaps.
It's
a weird comment.
It is a weird comment, but also, is it perhaps the case that had they not, I know you don't want to go on about it, but the case that if they hadn't won the league last year, he might not be in a job right now, Ranieri. He might not have that chance to see it.
No, he wouldn't. And if you was looking at actual managers you'd fancy to get Leicester out of this situation, you'd probably automatically think of Big Sam, you'd think of Tony Pulis, experts at the bottom of the table. Claudio Ranieri isn't, and the noises coming out of Leicester aren't great. The biggest problem for Leicester is that the teams in and around them are actually, for me, on paper, look better teams. They're in better shapes, they're playing better, and they've got the confidence, where Leicester, I just can't see where the next victory is coming from. You look at Swansea away, that is an unbelievably tough game. Liverpool at home, Hull, Arsenal. These are games where I think of where they're at the moment. I can't see them winning a game, and that must be a major, major worry for Ranieri.
And is it also, do you think the fans are of the mindset that our very own Gary Lineker tweeted today that he'd take 3 relegations to keep hold of that miracle and that magic from last season? And if the fans are in that kind of mindset, there isn't that groundswell in the stadium of that kind of belief.
Well, the players are as well.
Is that right, do you think?
The players, I mean, look, they've celebrated really well, and rightly so. But the minute you win a championship, you celebrate, and then you've got to focus on what's now. And to me...
Yeah, but who implements that? Who's the person who kind of makes the players feel that that's what's acceptable? You win your title, then you put it to the side.
It's the manager. And I think actually he's been immune from a lot of the criticism of Claudio Ranieri, because he's such a great guy, everyone loves him. But the buck stops with him. He's spent £80 million on players. He's picked the systems. He's changed the tactics. And ultimately, at the end of the day, he rules the dressing room, and it's not gone well.